Hello everybody, it's me Roscoe and welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast, which is proudly sponsored by John Fowler Solicitors. Big up Mark Kennedy and the team for their continued support. If you want your legal stuff, check them out. They're the ones to help you out. I'm joined as ever by Blue Wilson, my co-host and Town Women skipper, and we're joined by one of the part of the goalkeeping union. It's Laura Hartley joining us. We're here today to discuss the cup double headers. We hadn't had a pod for a while. We've had two cup games. We're progressed in both. Blue, how's things with you? Always a pleasure. Yeah, we're back.
All is well, Ross. We were just speaking before the pod started about heating, and the heating is currently not on, so I'm freezing, and I have got a blanket on me, but so far I'm standing strong. The heating is not going on yet, but it is getting to that time of the year. But otherwise, all is good. And yeah, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Got a bit of a sniffles, as we mentioned off there as well. Cold season is here. Although I've had like a cold now for like the last 4 weeks. It's gone and it's come back. So I don't know. Do I need some jabs or something to get rid of it? I don't know. But it is what it is. I'll power through later.
Let's not get into vaccines on this podcast.
Let's not. But Laura, pleasure to have you on. How's things?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you for having me.
Good. Back-to-back clean sheets for you, Laura. You happy with that?
Yeah, always good to get a clean sheet. I think it's good that the team's also scoring goals and we're getting wins as well. So positive all around at the minute.
Definitely. And I've been wanting to get you on for a while, Laura, because of course you signed in the summer. And Blue, we're going to have a little chinwag with Laura about her career so far, because she's had a journey. You've had a journey, Laura. You've made records. You've been at a few different clubs. Where should we start, Blue? Do you want to ask Laura sort of the standard question? Goalkeeping. Is that something you always wanted to do? Was that, is where you just say, okay, yeah, you go in goal. You go in goal for this game, and then you did well, and then you just stayed there?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I always standard wanted to be a striker. Then we didn't have a goalkeeper, so they were rotating who was going in goal, and I seemed to be doing all right. And they were like, "We can offer you a place as a permanent goalkeeper if you like." And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And then from the age of 10 onwards, here I still am. So still stuck in the goal. Grown to love it, so it's okay now.
So that rotation program, what club was that at?
That was at Norwich when I was in London.
Yeah, I remember it. And you used to because for some reason there was no goalkeepers.
Yeah, no goalkeepers in Norfolk.
They'd rotate it, and you'd just pray that you didn't get Arsenal or Chelsea. Because you knew you were in for a battering.
Yeah,
But yeah, good times. But yeah, I was just going to ask, I'm not sure if people know whatever, but your sort of football journey, where you started, where you've been in the interim up until you came to Ipswich.
Yeah, started playing kind of school football, then the local team of Hemsby Hornets.
Oh yeah,
Big up. Went on trial to Norwich. Obviously played in the Centre of Excellence at the time. And then it went on to kind of be a Norfolk program, so I carried on doing that. Played a bit of boys football in the meantime with Brandon Football Club, and then when I went on to college, moved to play for Brighton, and then spent the last kind of 3-4 seasons at Lewis in the Championship, and now I found myself at Ipswich Town.
Yeah, what a journey! And Blue, quick question for you: have you ever been in goal? I may have asked you this before. Have you ever had a stint in goal?
I think I must have when we had that rotation program. I can't really remember it, but I'm guessing I've just what's the word when you push it back in your mind? I can't. My mind's gone blank. But
buried it down deep.
Yes,
never to be remembered again.
It was clearly traumatic. Yeah, goalkeeping's never really been for me, but I used to play because we've got a garden at home which has got a little Astro pitch. It's a really good 2v2, 3v3 pitch. So me and my brother would play shooting games and stuff. So I went in goal then, but not now. I don't think. I think fear is now. I'm why would you do that? It doesn't make logical sense to stand in the way of a ball.
Yeah, you have to be a bit mad to be a goalkeeper, has to be said.
Yeah, and you've had quite a journey, Laura, though. To sign for Brighton at a very young age. Because what age was that when you left Norwich to go to Brighton?
I was 16 when
Yeah.
I moved down there. Yeah, so quite a young one. Now I've found my way back to Norfolk again, so it comes around.
Always. So Blue and Laura, do you know each other then? Were you at Norwich at the same time then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a story actually. I might have told it before on the pod. So basically, during the summer when it's off season, you've not got much to do. There wasn't much provision of like an off season program. So my dad decided that we'll get a PT once a week, and they'll do a session. He's like, oh right, well we'll just get other people to join. So Laura, Kyra occasionally as well, and Lauren Hemp used to come to my house, and we'd all do a session, and you'd see us sprinting up these hills on the promenade and doing all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I played. I think, were you in the age group above? So we had a crossover.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like a year where we weren't playing together, and then there was a year that we were, if that makes sense. So yeah, like I say, Ross, I know there is a rivalry with the yellow and green team, but some of the best do come from Norwich.
Yeah, it's fine. You make it at Ipswich Town though.
Yeah.
You play your best stuff at Ipswich Town, so it's all good. But yeah, Laura, I mentioned you made history. You started in Brighton's first ever game in the Super League, Women's Super League, back in 2018. Unfortunately, a defeat. But what was that experience like?
Yeah, I think to find your name on the team sheet for kind of the biggest game in their history was quite a massive achievement for me. Obviously, a few nerves around it. I was obviously still very young at the time, and I think it was kind of walking out to like 400 odd people. It was a massive experience for me. Unfortunately, the result didn't go our way, but it was something that I'll always remember and I'm proud of.
Yeah, playing against Liverpool, that's Blues, team, of course. But yeah, that must have been just great to see a team like Liverpool. That must have been, just to play against those sort of teams. And you played a few more appearances that year, of course, in the Super League. Just, something you're happy to say you were able to do. Yeah,
I think being able to watch some of the best in the country play football, going around to all the different grounds, getting to experience that as something as a younger player is always something that I will hold on to. You get to learn from the best. You get to see some of the stars, and now some of them going to World Cups, winning the Euros and things like that. You think, oh yeah, maybe one day that'll be me.
Yeah, and sadly though, injuries played a part, hasn't it, in the last few years? Quickly, was it an elbow injury? Was one of them? Yeah,
I dislocated my elbow twice in 2 seasons. So eventually got my surgery done. So obviously spent all of last year on the sidelines being number one cheerleader. But again, it's experiences that you go through, and it's things that improve your character. It gives you time to learn. It gives you time to miss the game, and obviously makes you a bit more hungrier. So that kind of adversity makes you more resilient. It gives you something to work towards, and I think it's something that, as much as I wouldn't want to put it upon anyone, I'm kind of glad I've been through it and I've had that experience.
Yeah, of course. Blue, your injury record as well. You two can sort of bond over that, maybe.
Ross.
Thanks for the reminder.
So it is what it is now, Blue.
Yeah.
We laugh, we don't cry.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Laura put it really well. It is really difficult, especially when you have like a recurring one, and a dislocated elbow. I think makes me more slightly ill. But yeah, I've seen the scars, and they're pretty impressive from surgery. So fair enough.
If you're watching on video, or if you listen to audio, Laura just showed our elbows, which are weird, aren't they? Though
they're not great looking things, but yeah.
If you think about them too, I sometimes find myself thinking about them too much and how they work and looking at them too much. It does make me feel a little bit funny. So
I think it's also now when you look at photos of you before surgery, and you're like, I don't remember having a normal knee or a normal elbow. Like I don't remember without the scars. I don't remember it not being slightly on the wonk. Like I don't.
It's just different now. It's just
it's just the new norm.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a stupid question, but how does it really feel though when you knew you'd done something wrong with your elbow? Because as I said, you just don't think your elbow can get injured because it's just I don't know. It's just there, isn't it? Like, oh, hello.
Oh my god!
Audio listeners, we've seen an X-ray of Laura's elbow there.
Elbow not where it should be.
It's definitely not where it should be.
I was in Lewis, my elbow was in Brighton, pretty much. But
yeah.
It was a funny day. I can't lie, it was a funny day.
How did you do it then? Was it in a game?
I was just in training. I just dived, landed funny, and dislocated it. And then, bless her, my best mate played in the team at the time, and she had to hold my elbow at a right angle, so I wasn't in pain for about 4 hours before I got it popped in. So we're trying to drive to A&E while she's holding my arm in the back seat. I'm just puffing on my gas and air, having a great time. Probably more traumatic for everyone else around me than it was me, but
wow, that is just.
So hang on, are you awake whilst they pop it back in?
I had they give you that pen full of medication, and I was puffing on that, so I don't remember it at all, but I was awake. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Just wow. Yeah. Is anybody listening who are a bit, when they hear?
Sorry, we should have given a disclaimer before.
Disclaimer. Just that's injuries part of the game, isn't it, unfortunately. And of course, you're back fully fit, Laura. You've been playing games for us. So how did the move sort of come about? Did you know anybody before? Of course, we'll mention Paul briefly as well, the goalkeeping coach. But how did the move come about?
I think kind of having my time down south and being injured and stuff, I kind of fancied a change. I think for me, obviously, I played at the kind of the highest level I could, and then I think getting injured, I kind of want to take a step back to kind of rebuild my career again. So I thought, I'll have a look, kind of see what's kind of around Tier 3. Went on a few trials, different places, and then I arrived at Ipswich training ground, got let through the gates, and I thought, wow, okay, this is nice. I like this place. Obviously got chatting to Joe. Obviously, I'd known him kind of previously through the regional stuff, and I'd obviously kept an eye on Ipswich. Obviously, we'd played against you the season before in the FA Cup, so I obviously had seen what the team was about, kind of the standard of football, and then went into a session with Paul and kind of was like, I think this is the place for me. Everyone was really welcoming, and then I got fed afterwards, and I was like, oh, this is lovely. I like this. It was. I think I kind of knew from the first few sessions here that it was a place I knew I could develop. It was a place that I knew I could achieve and obviously push on further as well. And I think you can see that from kind of the backing from the club, but also kind of the staff and the wisdom and sessions that they put on for us, but also the girls and kind of the determination in the team as well. I think it was something that I was like, I want to be here and I want to help this club push on.
Yeah, definitely. Paul Walker, of course, is the goalkeeping coach. He's played professional football himself, but what's he like as a goalkeeping coach? Of course, you've got Poppy there as well. Nina, of course, on loan at Cambridge City at the moment. But what's that been like? Training with those goalkeepers, but also with Paul.
Yeah, I think we're lucky in terms of we have a really good goalkeeper union. You've got 3 very different, but also very good goalkeepers. I think we're there to push each other further and hopefully develop further. You've got Paul as well, who I think probably the best sidewinder of a football I've ever seen in my life. That guy can hit a football, but I think it's a good level of seriousness, but also with goalkeepers, you've got to have that little bit of crazy and a bit of banter as well. So I think we're kind of nice, well-rounded union. It's the session's always good, always a bit fun. So it's been very, very good for the start of the season.
Yeah, I love watching Blue. The 5 minutes into because of course you come out first, don't you, Laura? Goalkeepers warm up first, and I always watch it for 5 minutes. I just love watching it because Paul, he doesn't muck about, as you said. He hits the ball hard, and he's like, and you, of course, you have to really make sure you disable it. They whack you in the face or whatever, or it goes in the net. But Blue, it's a whole different ball game. Goalkeepers, as we know, you have to be a bit crazy, don't you, Laura? But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the craziness. I don't think I've met a goalkeeper who's quite sort of chilled and level. Do you know what I mean? There's just, you can tell if you lined up people and were like, you're a goalkeeper, I think you could guess. But I mean that in a really good way. But Paul can hit a ball. Jesus Christ! Sometimes when if there's a few of us injured, we'll sit on the bench before a game, and obviously during your warm up, we'll always watch the goalkeeper bit. Because Paul just smacks these balls. And he'll hit them over to be collected or whatever, and they'll clear spectators sort of have to like jump over and get them. But yeah, cleanest strike of a ball up there with Nia.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's segue then onto the two games then girls, because two cup games. First one is the Faunal Cup, and a nice little trip back to Cardiff, Laura. In the second round of that competition, you actually travelled for the first time with the club for that game. Unfortunately, you were actually on the bench because Poppy, of course, was starting against her former club. Of course, since then she's got injured, and you'll come back in now and playing against Cardiff this time around. What's that been like? You know, how are you settled in those first few months and those away trips and some overnights?
Yeah, I think obviously an overnight trip's always good for team bonding. You get to spend more time than usual with your teammates. I think it was quite good that a couple of them brought their the Wii, but you can bring it with you. So we played a bit of a Mario Kart tournament. I think there was a few sore losers and a few people with head loss, but it was good to get all the girls together in that sense and get to have chats and play games and have that kind of silliness together that you don't always get. But yeah, it was good to see everyone together, and you could really see that this team, not just on the pitch but off the pitch, really gets on. And then obviously with the game, it was a good game. I think it was Cardiff is a team that's very physical and very hard to break down at times, but I think you can see our resilience and our willingness to keep doing our game plan, keep pushing through, and then I think we trust ourselves that we're going to get a couple of goals later on in the game.
Yeah, it was a very similar game to the opening day, of course. We had to score a late goal, obviously, Megan's late goal, and but this was very similar. And, two trips blue to Cardiff, which wasn't really on the agenda for all of us. I think we're happy to go there once, and that was it. But to do that, a couple of months later, we had to do that. And I've got a short story here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to keep it short, but it may be long-winded. Loads of parts, this story. Now, I, of course, came from the Birmingham game, the men's game, and of course, it absolutely pissed it down in Birmingham. I got a train to Newport, where we were staying, got to the hotel, and I knew my camera equipment was probably going to be very wet. I tried my best to cover it. I sort of let it all out, put it out on the desk and let it sort of dry out a little bit. Of course, woke up the next morning, went breakfast. We went to, of course, the ground. I arrive at the ground, you players, you go out and look at the pitch, don't you? Have a little look. And I always take a few little snappy snaps. But my camera decided to take a lot of snappy snaps in one burst. So basically, when you take a picture, it does a few. But I took my hand off the button you take pictures, and it just basically kept going. And I was like, oh dear, my camera is playing silly buggers here. So I was a bit panicking at this stage because it means I would not have any camera to take pictures of the day. That means I'm in Cardiff as a photographer, not having any camera. So what I did, it was a nice sunny day. I left my camera out on the pitch for 10 minutes, so that, let it sort of dry off. And it started working again, which was great. So, during the warm-up, I was able to get a few shots. But then 5 minutes later, I jinxed it because I said to Kieran, yeah, camera's all good. I actually said, I don't want to jinx it, but my camera's fixed now. But 5 minutes later, it then did the same thing. And I was panicking because I was like, well, I have no camera here. And I'm in Cardiff, stuck in Cardiff. There was potential talk of me quickly going to a camera shop round the corner to get one. But I think it would have been a mad rush. But luckily, there was another photographer there. Shout out to Ian, who is the Cardiff photographer. And he was able to give me a camera to use to take pictures of that day. But it was one of those moments, Blue and Laura, where I was like, I wouldn't say it's pointless me being here, but it would have been because I wouldn't have been taking any pictures. I would just be watching the game as a spectator for the first time.
All the way in Cardiff.
All the way in Cardiff, where I could have been, at home. I support you girls, but
Cardiff's a bit far though.
Yeah, also,
I'm
here to take pictures. Really, that's my job here. So yeah, I was not a happy bunny at one stage, but luckily Ian gave me a camera to use, and my camera is still currently in the airing cupboards. Just left it in there because I've got a spare one. I just didn't bring one with me because I just didn't want to risk it. But that's my short story. Thankfully, there was another photographer there who was able to give me a camera. But
Oh,
yeah,
God. That could have been tears and tantrums. So the camera still doesn't work?
it does, but I've just kept it there. I just kept it in there just in case because I actually got drenched in Birmingham, and I will admit on the train I was like texting Kieran like, I am so wet because it just kept raining and raining.
Yeah.
And when I got to the hotel, I just was like, I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed.
Ross, you need to start taking with you like a packet of rice, uncooked rice. So in your hotel rooms, you can just put your camera equipment in the uncooked rice overnight, and then you'll be all fine.
Yeah, potentially, but yeah, I just wasn't. It was just it wasn't a good. That's the second time it's happened in Cardiff because last time I forgot to bring a camera battery.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Camera, and of course we actually had to go into the centre of town to get like a bad charger for the battery. This time I was like, oh my God. I actually said when we were on the coach, I went to Kieran, oh, I'm so happy we could just go to the game and just chill and not need to worry. But obviously I jinxed it then. And then there's also another story to go to this game with the kit, Laura, which was very interesting. Thankfully, there was some help from the Cardiff side. But there was some kit missing, or it wasn't missing. It wasn't, cleaned.
Yeah, a bit of chaos in Cardiff, but thankfully someone had a washing machine and a dryer handy, so we could get some of the girls' kit clean. But something's always got to happen. Nothing's ever simple, and it's we talk about running towards adversity, and sometimes small little things like that can happen. But luckily, it all worked out, and Meg Waring didn't have to play in a goalkeeper kit, so that is a bonus.
Yeah, there's a few fans who was like asked me like, what is Megan like? Is Megan starting? It's like, they saw you. I was like, what's? Because she was in the course. The goalkeeper was wearing Poppy Soper's goalkeeping kit, and like people were thinking, is Megan like on the bench as a goalie? Or what's going on? But no, it's just basically her kit was not cleaned, and the lady in Cardiff had to go and wash it for us. But yeah, big shout out to that Cardiff woman for sorting that out. Because I know Joe was very, very appreciative of that because there was a washing machine at the ground, but then, of course, there was no dryer. Even though it was a nice sunny day, you could maybe left it out there for a bit, but it wouldn't have dried enough time. But it's just, when you're that far away from home as well, like if that was maybe in Felixstowe, you'd think, it's fine because it's not that far away, but you're stuck in Cardiff, there's no it was not good. And I think there's also a rule, like we probably have like spares, don't we, like blood shirts, but apparently you can't wear them before the game or something. I think you do need the numbers, or like obviously for the referees to know what number and stuff. So thankfully the Cardiff lady was able to sort it out, and we had the kits, and we're able to kick off and all that sort of stuff. So 2 little stories to start the game. But let's get right into the game then, Laura. You're starting, and we had to be patient though, didn't we, to get the goals? And we've got a shout out to your opposite number because Laura O'Sullivan, who we know is a decent goalkeeper, Welsh international, she made some quality saves in this one. Yeah,
I think we could have probably been 5-6-0 up by the end of the game, but she did pull off some worldies and some very good saves. I think you can essentially see why she's Wales number one and keeping Cardiff in the games like that. But no, I think from our point of view, it was a good showcase of like the patience and the resilience from our team. I think we back ourselves in that situation to keep to the game plan and keep doing what we're doing, and we will eventually break through. Sometimes it does take a little bit of magic and a little bit of, in our case for that weekend, a few fireworks, but it was something that we knew. I think we knew we could win the game, and we just needed to back ourselves and believe within the process.
Yeah. So Blue, where were you at this moment of the game? Unfortunately, you weren't able to be there, but take you back to whatever date it was. I've got the date. Was it the 5th
of November?
Of course, it was Pescott's birthday weekend.
Yes, it was.
We'll get on to her in a bit because she made the difference when she came on. But yeah, it must be weird sometimes when it's your birthday.
No better way to celebrate, Ross, to be in Cardiff on your 21st. I mean,
21st birthday, yeah.
What more would you want?
Yeah. Well, your teammates, friends, because most of the teammates are best friends.
It's true. It's true.
We got her a cake. There was a cake. So she got a few birthday presents there as well. So I think she was pretty happy about it.
Yeah. just having to be on a coach down to Cardiff, for a few hours.
Yeah, I was gutted actually when I heard that you were all playing Mario Kart. I did speak to Lucy O'Brien about it, and she still wasn't sleeping because she lost.
She's still not over it.
She's still, honestly, if you bring it up to her, her face changes.
I think a few people are getting some practice in just so that next time they can.
I'm telling you, I'd smoke you all. I would beat you all.
That's fight and talk, that.
Yeah. I'm better on a Wii though. A Wii or a DS. DS is probably my ultimate. So
you're blaming the tools now, are you? Blaming the tools.
Oh, Ross, I could beat anyone. Any console, I'll beat them.
Clip this up. The next time we have the tournament, we'll find out.
I'm up for it. I love Mario Kart. Anyway, what was I saying? I completely missed the train of thought. I'm thinking of Mario Kart now.
What were you doing the 5th of November?
Oh, I was sat at this very desk studying for an exam the next day and the day after. So yeah, not that exciting, sadly. But exams are now over until July, so good news. Yes.
That's good.
Which I'm very happy about.
Did you pass the exams?
I don't know yet. So I sat 2. They were 3.5 hours each.
Wow.
Yeah. So I find out in December. Who knows? At this point, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, don't think about it. But what were you thinking about then when you were seeing the tweets go out?
I thought it sounded like we had good intensity, and I knew that from the previous game against Cardiff that they're a tricky physical team, like Laura said. So it was going to be a matter of, yes, keep building the intensity, make sure we stay concentrated at the back to limit their chances. Because you see games like this can go one of two ways, where we build intensity, get the breakthrough, and then are quite comfortable and get another one, which is great. Or Cardiff get a goal and suddenly it becomes very, very difficult for us. So yeah, I think Summer had a couple of chances in a small period. And then obviously when Pest came on and then Tash and Pest scoring, I was like, oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah, Pest got say Laura was.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, Bonnie from the spot. Sorry.
Yes, it's fine. Yes. It's fine. She scored this time, Bonnie, because sadly she missed the last time. Obviously, it didn't matter in the end because we scored that late goal. But I think she was probably happy that she was able to convert that one. Yeah. But yeah, I'll say Laura Pesk, birthday girl, she was the difference, weren't she, when she came on? Because I think Cardiff probably would starting to get a bit tired, and then they see someone like Sophie Pesk come on, who's got all the pace, all the energy, and of course she links up with Tash.
Yeah, I think she came on, and I think they struggled with their press. They allowed a lot of space and a lot of time down that side. And I think if you're allowing someone like Sophie Pesk to get time and space, you know that there's probably going to be an end product. And thankfully for us, there was.
Yeah, and of course Bonnie scoring from the spot. Pesk, of course, winning the pen as well, and then that sort of killed the game off, I would say. And that's just job done, really. I think that was just happy days into the quarters of this competition for the first time. And we've got a home game in the quarters, which is not until January, though. But we've got Portsmouth girls, which is a big one. But it's an opportunity to take on Portsmouth. We're going to play in the league, obviously. They're going to be our promotion rivals this year, league title rivals. But thoughts on that, Blue, getting them in the quarters?
I think I wasn't that happy. Well, I was happy on one part because it's at home, so I was very happy with that. But then it's like against Portsmouth, so I was kind of like, oh, couldn't we get another team which we won't play in the league? But then Kieran said it was still regionalised. I was like, oh, I wanted like Newcastle away. Like how, like, do you know what I mean? Well, Newcastle at home. Just to play them again, or just a different team. But it will be a great game for sure. No doubt about that. So in terms of matching up against a team who are going to be a strong, very strong team, nice that it's at home and a little pre-run before we play them in the league. I think it'll be a good game, and obviously there's not much to lose in this sort of cup, so it'll be interesting to see whether both teams use it as a test run to try different tactics, or they change around, or whatever. But be interesting to see, and obviously another chance for us to start turning this Portsmouth record around compared to previous years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't think there's any other business, is there, Laura, from the Cardiff game? I don't think there's anything else that sort of stood out, really. Just a journey home, obviously, and it's always good to. I think this time around, obviously, thankfully we didn't have an injury to Holly, so we all got home at a reasonable time. I know you have to. I know there's a few of you girls who, when you get to the training ground, you've still got a good hour or so to get home. But I'm sure this time we were able to leave the ground pretty sharply after everyone gets changed and has a bit of food and you get on the coach and stuff. But at least we didn't have that this time, thankfully.
Yeah. I think last time it was get home at 3 a.m. and thankfully this time I managed to get home about 12:30, so it wasn't as bad. But it was. It's always going to be a long day going to Cardiff, but you don't mind doing it when you've got a win in the back.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing as well, Blue, don't we have to think about some of the players, especially Laura. I think there's Tash who lives in Lowestoft. There's Cora's living in Ipswich now, isn't she? There's a few players who, like even Lucia O'Brien, she lives in St Ives or, Cambridgeshire, so that's still a little bit of a distance to get back home as well. But yeah, that's just part of what you have to do, Laura, unfortunately, because it's where you live and that's a commitment you have to do.
Yeah, and I think it shows volumes of the team that I think there's probably maybe 3, 4, 5 of them that live locally, and the rest of everyone has to commute, and people are driving an hour, maybe 2 hours to get to training. And I think that speaks volumes of the team and the dedication. They want to be playing at kind of the highest level they can, getting the best quality they can as well. And I think if you're willing to travel, I think shows volumes for this team.
Definitely. And let's move on then to another away game. We haven't been at home since September, girls, which is just madness. Madness. But thankfully, we've got some home games coming up, which is good in the FA Cup. We'll get onto a draw soon. But yes, the FA Cup is back, and we started our journey with Northampton. And I want to sort of give a shout out to them, really, because it was a nice little decent setup at Thurneyfield Sports Ground, Northampton Silby Rangers. Silby Rangers, I think it is. But yeah, turned up there. Not a bad little setup. Grass pitch. We're playing on a grass pitch. That's just is that a nice difference, Laura, for you? As a goalie to play on a grass pitch, so you're not going to get all the scars of the AstroTurf.
Yeah, I think it's just nice. Obviously, we train on grass. I think it's just nice to train and play on the same surface, but also with grass, you get that nice slick feeling that it was kind of a little bit of water on top, so the ball was fizzing. I think it's just always nice to play on a good grass pitch like that, and also if you're diving, you get a little bit more momentum, so sliding all over the place. It's just, I think when you walk onto it, you always go, today's going to be a good day.
Definitely. And I think Joe said that apparently the people who've been looking after the pitch, the groundsmen, apparently they've been prioritising this game for a while. So I think they're like the Northampton, Silby Rangers haven't played there for like 6 weeks because they wanted to prioritise our game when the draw happened. So that's why it looks good, actually. They had a really decent, grass was looking really good. Although you had to train, Laura, on a very interesting warm-up section, which, this time of year, that's what happens now, definitely at non-league grounds, because they want to make sure to look after the pitch as much as possible. But yeah, little peek behind the curtain of that training bit you had to do.
Yeah, very, very small area, very, very boggy, but I'm on a slight bit of a hill, so if you misplace your pass, you're running down to go get it. But yeah, as you said, obviously in the winter you want to preserve the pitch and stuff like that, so you've got to do things like that. But I think it's always fun in games, but I think it's you can take a touch on that. You can definitely take a touch on a nice flat surface. So get your eye in early.
Yeah, I was wondering that at one stage, you can do your normal warm-up drills, the passing drills and stuff like that. But when it got to shooting, I was like, surely we're going to go on the pitch. Like, surely we're going to finish that off. No. They still did it. It was just such a weird, because you, of course, had to move your, to make the goal with, what are they called? What are they called?
Poles.
Poles. Why? I don't know why I'm going to bring a pole. But you had to move the poles, and it's just like, if it goes over, it will just go over this hedge. But yeah, that must have been, weird, because, to explain that, because that was just a weird.
Yeah, I think in terms of not having any markings as 6 yard and 18 yards, it's obviously a bit difficult in that sense, but meant that the shooting had to be pretty on target. So I had to get your head over the ball, so I wasn't going to go fly over the hedge. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you have to do. But yeah, I think we coped with it quite well, and obviously scored a few goals, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, very true. And Blue, we were wearing the third kit for the first time. The men wore it at Rotherham, and we were wearing it here. And do you know what? It's grown on me. You know, I think we were on
Ooh.
the podcast where we had Boz on, and I mentioned it is fine. It's just
Yeah.
fun. It's grown on me since I've seen it actually in the flesh, like players wearing it. Of course, you know, you see the photo shoots and all that sort of stuff, but like to actually see them in action, you know, some players have got good combinations, if you know what I mean, with their boots. So I always look at that and go, oh, that looks good. We'll get onto your kit in a minute, Laura, because I'll be interested to see your thoughts on it. You can see you very easily. But yeah, it's growing on me, Blue, and definitely combinations of people with boots and stuff. I think Tash had a good combination of her boots, Pesca as well, and a few other players. But yeah, it's growing on me, I have to admit.
Interesting, because I think I've gone the other way after seeing it in person. So I saw the photos. I was like, "Oh yeah, it looks clean." When I've physically seen it, I haven't put the shirt on or anything. But I'm just a bit like, I don't know.
It's basic, you know. It's not.
Yeah, fun. They've obviously gone safe, but I don't know. I want a bit of risk involved. Like, go a bit out there. Like, you know how Arsenal go really out there with the shirts, and some people love it and some people hate it, and most people love it. I don't know. Ross, I think maybe next season they go for something, but maybe that is the orange. But orange is historic reasons. I don't know. It's a good job I'm not a kit designer because I wouldn't have a clue.
What's your thoughts on, Laura? Of course, obviously you don't wear it. We'll get onto your kit in a minute. But what are your thoughts on the third kit?
Yeah, I think it's quite very clean kit, very kind of traditional. You've got your white with a few black strips, and it looked nice. I think we looked pretty good. We looked like we were there to mean business. And I think also having the black armband with the poppy on as well obviously went with the colour coordination. And then, like you said, depending on what boots you've got, also can do quite well. But no, I think it's a solid kit. So it's a solid kit. I think, I agree. Kind of Blue, we could mix it up, maybe a bit of texture, a bit of pattern on it. But I think in terms of, it's pretty standard, pretty traditional kit. I quite like it.
Yeah, of course, the historic badge as well from the 90s.
No, I do really like the new badge. I can't lie. Yeah. I did really like that badge.
Yeah, it's nice. And obviously, of course, it was always going to get muddy because I think Pesk was one of the muddiest players because of course she's getting tackled here, there, left, right, and centre, and yeah, that kit definitely on a grass pitch is definitely going to get muddy. So like for the actually, I don't know when we'll wear it next. I think it's potentially could be Portsmouth. I think Kieran mentioned. But they play on a 3G, or for that be at home game. No, it won't be a home game because we'll be wearing blue, of course, home game. So yeah, we'll find out when we'll wear it next. But yeah, it definitely got a few kits to definitely get muddy because it was a bit of a muddy pitch. Weren't too bad, but it wasn't his. But yeah, Laura, your kit then, which is very out there. Of course, it's this pink number. I don't know if you can see it. It's
so bright. It's not even
pink.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
The pink number. It's all pink as well. You got a bit of green on it. But when you saw that, thoughts on that when you saw that come out the bag?
Very, very bright. Mixing it up, if we're talking about having a little bit of risk involved, that is very much a risky kit. I think it works. I just bought a new pair of boots, to be fair, that were pink tick as well, so I managed to coordinate. So I thought I looked all right. I can't lie. I thought I looked all right. I thought I pulled it off. For an all pink kit, I didn't think I looked too bad. But yeah, it's very bright. Maybe it puts off the attackers, but I quite like it.
Yeah, you're not going to go all out there and get pink gloves, are you? I don't think that's.
I think that might be too much. That's too much pink, I think.
Too much, and then get pink, dye your hair pink.
Far too much pink.
No. I think because what other colours have we got? Is it the green one we've got as well, and is it the black one we've got as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think the green and the pink are my favourite actually. Which may be controversial, but yeah, I quite like the pink. And the green then has the pink stripes on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I quite like them.
Yeah, I think they're fine. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think goalkeeping kits sometimes they could be a bit underrated. Actually, I think they sort of get forgotten about. But I think a lot of people are now buying goalkeeping kits, Laura, because I think people are appreciating goalkeepers more. Definitely Vaz, goal for the men's team, who's been unbelievable this season. Is there any goalkeepers you sort of look up to? Any goalkeeper you follow? Put you on the spot.
I think when I was younger, Ike Casillas was probably the one I watched the most when I was a kid. But obviously now, boys and girls growing up, you've got the likes of Mary Earps, Jordan Pickford, goalkeepers that if we'll have to swear on here, a bit of shithousery, but that kind of level of goalkeeper now. You've got Aaron Ramsdale and things like that. I think there's now now that we're kind of more involved in play in terms of people look at us for distribution and being an extra man, I think it's now sort of more appreciated position. I think more valued in that sense.
Yeah, and Blue, one thing I think we mentioned, I think this must have been one of the early games when Laura made her debut or whatever, and we said this is somebody who's maybe a quiet leader, and that I hope that's that's okay with you, Laura. I just saw that. I remember taking a few pictures in the huddle, and it was just you're talking. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I've only known you for maybe a few weeks at that point, but yeah, I think we mentioned it on the pod, didn't we, Blue, about Laura being that quiet leader who just speaks up when she knows she has to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if quiet leader is the right term, because actually Laura does speak quite a bit.
Yeah.
Absolute shit, but yeah.
But actually, I think the opposite. You speak you cut all the stuff which is like airy fairy. Do you know what I mean? You say what needs to be said, and that's it. Which I think I value highly. So yeah, but I guess it's when you join a new team, I feel you have to sort of gauge, okay, what type of group this is and what's going to work best and how do these players react or whatever. So it's a difficult process. So I'm sure, be interested to see where we are at the end of the season, where the players a bit more and stuff like that. But I think he's settled in pretty well and pretty quickly. So yeah, good asset to our team.
Yeah, sorry, Laura.
Thank you. There's the ego piece. There it is. There's always one per pod.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but maybe okay. I won't say quiet leader. I just was impressed for her.
But in the early stage, I think it was a quiet leader because you were almost like calm, composed, never really looked out of place. But I don't know. I'm under the radar leader, Ross.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think maybe because you just don't think goalkeepers sometimes. You don't think they. I know. You'll lead from the front, the goalkeeper and stuff. But is that something you always wanted to bring to your game, Laura? Just to be that. Just someone who, there's some goalkeepers can be a bit quiet, but yourself. I hear you on the pitch, and you are vocal, which is good.
Yeah, I think obviously, kind of the last 2 years I spent out injured. I think I spent a lot of time watching players and teams, and kind of working out kind of behind the scenes what people need on the pitch, and kind of viewing it in that sense, and kind of sitting watching in the stands what I could do to influence the team even though I wasn't playing. So kind of that indirect influence, I think that was important for me. And now that I'm able to kind of directly influence, I can play, I'm there, I'm experiencing it, I'm there to problem solve, I'm seeing it firsthand and things like that. It's then how can I kind of use the experiences and stuff I had last year to then influence this year. And I think obviously we're quite a young team. I may not be particularly old myself, but I've had different experiences. I've played with different people. I've been in different teams. So it's kind of, and like Blue said, it was gauging, because this team's been together for so long and it's doing so well, what was it that we were missing, or what could I bring that we needed, or what could I need to continue to encourage with this team? And I think everyone's so together and you can see that. And I think you've got the experience from people like Boz, Kyra, Bonnie, Tash, and people who've been here for years. And it was just then using my experiences to then help with that. Obviously, from a goalkeeper, from the defensive unit, you see everything. So you can shout left shoulder, right shoulder, and you've got that picture. I then think it was that dynamic of, I didn't want to overstep, I didn't want to push my way in, but also I feel like I could be like, well, actually, we need to do this to be able to do that. And hopefully people took it on board. And I think you've just got to gain respect from new teammates and stuff, but you've also got to take that first step forward in the hope that they receive it well. And hopefully it went well. Hopefully, for all I know, they all think I'm a bitch, but no, I think it went down well, and it's something that I want to continue to do, and hopefully make sure that the younger players feel like they can make an influence as well when they can use their voices. I think we're a team of 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 leaders. Like, we don't want just one voice. We want everyone to be able to make a point and also problem solve together. So I think that's also majorly important for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's good in a Blue to have different leaders on the pitch in different positions. And I think there's a few players who really stepped up this year in terms of, getting their voice heard. And of course, as Laura said, we've got a lot of young players, but I feel they've been able to step up and show that leadership as well.
Yeah, I think it's having an environment where say a younger player feels comfortable to make a point or suggest something which then might aid the rest of the team. I think once you have that environment, you've then got more brains working together to solve problems on the pitch, off the pitch, whatever, and all round you come together as a group and you feel like you deserve your place and whatever, and no one's better than another, if that makes sense, and there's sort of equal respect between everyone. I think that's really powerful. And I definitely think we're moving towards that. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be imperfections, but otherwise it'd be boring, Ross. There'd be nothing to work on.
Yeah, true. I think there's one press conference where Kieran McKenna said for the men's team, like, it's just, there's nothing to work on. There's no point turning up on the Monday for training. No. We're just going to every game. So you're always learning, you're always improving. So it's good. It's good. And well, let's talk about the gaming girls. 6 goals to talk about. Luce O'Brien is back. Of course, she's been back for the last few weeks and has been playing well. Just hasn't been able to find that goal. Got a few assists before this. But yeah, 2 goals for her, and her first goal was a peach. What a ball from Evie Williams, who's been playing really well. Evie, of course, played centre back at Cardiff, didn't she, Laura? And I thought she did really well. She's back in her normal position for this one, I think, if I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Back in at centre back again.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, great ball from her. Luce O'Brien finish, and that's a good thing in a blue to see Lucio with 2 goals.
Yeah, for sure. I was really pleased when I saw that because she deserves it, and I can imagine she was very happy with that. It's never nice to see someone injured, and I think she's one of those which she loves football so much that it was really tough for her. So for her to get success on the pitch, back again, which is great, and it sounds like she had a really good game. But I'll ask your opinion on, because I've known Lucy for a few years now. But what's your opinion on O'Brien, Laura?
Yeah, I think when I first came in, obviously she was injured, and it was a lot of time her spent in the gym. And then when she started to come out onto the pitch, I was like, "Ooh, who is this? Yeah. Where has this footwork come from?" So I think, it was good to see someone who's obviously had a hard time over the last few months then come back onto the pitch and be able to express herself and kind of show her football and what she's about. Her footwork is phenomenal. Her first touch, equally as good. I think it's been good to have kind of that link up of Pescett, OB, Tash, and kind of see how that's all been working together. The tricky feet and winning penalties or having assists or scoring goals. I think it's nice to have that kind of freedom in the front three and that fluidity.
Yeah, I think she's one of those who, she looks faster when she's running with the ball than she is without. It's one of those players who just look quick, with the ball. She's one of those, and the dribbling has always been a strength of hers.
I think our 2 goals, we actually went over the top. We actually did long balls. They weren't but of course she had to work really hard for the third goal of the game, her second of the afternoon. But there were just long balls over the top, which is we're going directing. We're going direct. This is not a Joe Sheehan football. This is direct. I think we had to do that at some stage, and it came off, which is fantastic. And 3-0 at half time. And I think we did give respect, didn't we, Laura, to Northampton? A team who are a division below us, who just sort of mid-table in their division. And I thought they weren't too bad. I think they defended well, and I think we gave them respect, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the first kind of 10, 15 minutes, I think it was us finding our feet and kind of sussing them out. I think we kind of went with the game plan of moving the ball around, assessing what their press was going to be, trying to break down the lines, finding the pockets. And I think they had 2 early corners, and I think that was kind of all that they had throughout the game. But I think once we found our feet, the pockets, the spaces, the runs we needed to do, and the balls to play, I think that was then when we got our success. And I think we played some very lovely football. I know I didn't spend a lot of time in action. I spent quite a lot of time observing, but I did think at times I was like, we're starting to click. You can see the pictures we've been trying to get out in training, some of the combinations in wide areas, people finding these great pockets, the turns, the touches, everything just seemed to flow. And we just looked very good, I can't lie.
Yeah, we were playing some really good football. And another question for you, Laura, here. How do you keep that concentration when there's a game where there's not going to be much action for yourself? There's not going to be many saves. How do you keep that concentration just in case out of nowhere they're on the counter and they score? Because as you say, you are watching the game, and I'm sure you're just being aware. But I'm sure there's times where you're just I'm not going to be doing anything. Like, what do I do? Just have a little look, wander over there. Oh, what's going on over there? But yeah, how do you keep that concentration?
Yeah, I think for me, I do talk to myself quite a lot. I think I look kind of commentate through the game in my own head, or you make comments here and there of like, oh, great turn, or oh, you made her look silly, and like things like that, and you can end up just kind of in that sense. But also there's an element of I still need to stay connected. Obviously we're a team that likes to play out. We're a team that, we build as a back three. So I also need to make sure that I'm ready to be the right angles to receive a pass. But it's, I think a lot of it is just talking to yourself, obviously commentating through the game and things like that. Obviously, travelling fans are obviously very vocal as well, and might find myself singing along to some of the songs. But it's just making sure that I am focused throughout the game. But you also need that kind of 10 seconds of switching off, because goalkeeping itself is quite mentally demanding. I do find myself coming off the pitch and thinking, that was hard, and I've probably done about 2K.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. I think if I was in that position where I know there's not really much action, I'll probably just think, what am I going to be doing this week? What's my plans this week going ahead? Oh, blah blah. Oh, good goal. And yeah, you just. And there were some other good goals in this game actually. Blue. Should we segue on to Tash with another double for her? And we might as well just do the stats on her right now, because she's got 16 goals this season, which is our best return in Tier 3 since we've been in this league. I think she only scored, I won't say she only scored, I think she only scored 12, 13 goals last year. So she's already beaten her previous record from last year. And it's only November, which is fantastic. And I think now she's 191 games for the club, 142 goals for the club as well. So we're talking about what's she going to hit first, 150 goals or 200 games? I think she's going to maybe do the goals first, maybe.
I think for the graphics, she needs to hold back and do it at the same time, in the same game. So we might need to have a word with her about that, because that would, unless it's like okay. Kieran's probably hoping for that. If it happens, it happens. But yeah, I remember saying it to her and almost like joking, because it's possible but slightly unrealistic. But Jesus, this season she's just been on fire. Fair play to Tash. She already beat the tally last year. I think she had a challenging season last year. Probably not down to her, but just the connection between us getting the ball to her and her finishing it or whatever. This season's just been a different level. And whatever she touched goes in. So yeah, long may it continue.
She got a bit of a sore one though, didn't she, Laura, for her first goal? Because of course she scores, and I think she got absolutely kicked in the ankle, whatever, and she was down, and so she couldn't do a celebration or anything. She was down, and like she was holding it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And I think she did say it was a sore one, but you never like to see that. And thankfully, she was fine. It was fine, so that's all good. I want to quickly mention Pesk's goal to make it 4-0, because a nice free kick routine, Laura, which is nice. Boz plays a free kick. I don't think they were alert enough, were they? And Pesk was able to score.
Yeah, I think Boz with a quick thinking to spot the space in the area, and then obviously a very nice touch forward and strike by Pesk. I think it shows that as much as we have a game plan and we have structure and stuff, also there's that element of creativity and that quick thinking, and that able to have that bit of flair in the final third and have that bit of freedom and personality. I think that's also quite good from us. Obviously, like you said, some of the goals were just from long balls over the top, but I think it's kind of that work in terms of people dropping in, finding that space. But we are a playing out from the back team. We are a kind of tiki-taka football team, but also we have that in our locker to change it up when we need to and exploit the spaces that are available to us.
Yeah, definitely. And Bonnie then scores from the spot. Lucy O'Brien finally gets a penalty because she always gets tackled. Lucy, we know she's a skillful player and she's always going to be brought down because they're just like, we can't get the ball off her. All right, let's just take her down. And of course, we get the penalty and Bonnie steps up and she's actually now got 5 goals this season. Bonnie.
Yeah.
So
2 penalties in 2 games.
Yeah.
Putting the doubters to bed. It's good. Yeah. Good to see. Shock Lucy O'Brien wins a penalty. I think that's you kind of expect that. If you had to bet on anyone winning a penalty, it would be someone like Lucy O'Brien.
Yeah, but then I think she has to have a few shouts to get one first.
Yes.
There's a few games where she goes down like, how is that not a penalty? I think what game was it recently where we had 3 penalty shouts and the one we actually got,
Wasn't the penalty.
It was a Chatham game, weren't it? And I think it was Lucy who got take down. I was like, that is actually not. That's the softest out of the 3 penalty shouts, but we got it. So
it must be a thing with refs when they realise that they should have given the 2 prior. They're like, I'll just give this one.
Yeah,
make up for it.
Yeah, interesting. And then of course, Tash makes it 6 with a volley, and that was it. Laura, job done. A clean sheet for you. Happy days. But any other business from the game? Anything that sort of stands out for you? Once again, good atmosphere. I think once again, 8% of the ground was town fans because is that sort of surprised you since coming in? Seeing the support we have that away games especially.
Yeah, I think I didn't realise how big the town fans were, and obviously travelling away to Cardiff and you're still hearing the drum, travelling away to Northampton or wherever we go, and you've still got this drum going on. I didn't realise it was such a die-hard dedication, but I rate it. I like it. I like kind of that, the chance and that kind of ability. I think it does spur on the players. I think it gives you something to play for as well. But I didn't realise the Blues fans would travel as far as they did, but we appreciate the support every week.
Definitely. I'm sure they'll find a song for you soon. They'll do something about jam, won't they? They'll do that. There'll be fun there. Kieran will find an idea, and it'll be something about jam, and they'll maybe turn up with jam or something.
Yeah, that's good from you, Ross. That's really good.
Yeah, that's easy though. I think we did this with part of your signing video. I think that was maybe an idea we're going to have.
Yeah, I did think it was going to be me opening a jar of jam with my gloves on or something like that. I was like, here we go.
I don't think I didn't think we did it. I think we just think we couldn't get I don't know. We just
couldn't get a jar in time.
Yeah, basically. But you never know. One thing about actually is a sort of same subject, but about mascots. Northampton brought their mascot to the game, and it was a dragon, which I don't know what the connection is, but it absolutely scared the living daylights out of me. I was like, look, just setting up, and I looked over and I was like, what? There was this thing. There's a dragon. It just sort of stood there, just staring at me for a while, and I was like, hello. I just don't know what the connection with, because they're called the cobblers, they're the shoe army, but they have a dragon as a mascot. So if you're a Northampton person out there, let us know. I know Paul used to play for Northampton, so maybe Paul knows more about that. But yeah. Fair play to bring their mascot, but it did scare me a little bit. It was like it just came out of nowhere. But big shout out though to the away day food. It's time to bring the rating. Now, Laura, I sort of panicked when I went up there because there was a lot of options, but the lady, she was very nice, but also very blunt. She was like, "What do you want?" And I'm like,
I think it was assertive and efficient. I think she just wanted bang, bang, bang. There you go, food gone.
Yeah. With me, I like to have a little look, get the choice and stuff. But she was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Can I have that?" And I actually asked, "Could I have this as well?" And she was like, "I don't know." I had a chicken curry, but then I could have had more. And I think Joe said to me he was disappointed with me because he got a burger and a few other bits. And he was like, "I thought you'd get a burger, Ross. What is that?" So he was disappointed in me, but it was decent though. Decent little stuff. What did you have, Laura? What can you remember?
I had pasta meatballs, and then there was also a selection on the side salads as well. So it was a lot to take in. I can't lie, and I think it was me, Holly, and Maisie were trying to have discussions in the queue what we were going to have, and none of us could make a decision quick enough. So, but no, it was good to have the spread and the variety, and it was. I think it was a good club. The setup, the whole changing rooms and everything were nice and clean, and it was a good little ground.
Yeah, definitely, nice little clubhouse, and you got poker chips to get your food.
Yeah.
To get Paul, the goalkeeper coach, he was in charge of it. He was giving them out and stuff like that. Obviously, I took one because I'm getting food, obviously, for this feature. But yeah, I had a chicken curry and it was nice. But I did sort of regret because I was looking around. Everyone else had different selections. I was like, I really did panic when I got this. I wish I just got some more stuff because I think there's a lasagna as well.
Oh wow, there's a lot.
Honestly, it was like a little buffet of little selection, and I just
jacket potato, pasta meatballs, burgers.
That's got to be up there for
probably up there.
Food of the year so far. Maybe.
So just maybe she was a nice lady, but she was just very like, "What do you want? get out.
It's just efficiency, Ross.
Yeah,
she's
got to feed a lot of players, and
she's got to get everyone fed.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good, and fair play, good hosts, and we move on, and of course we're waiting for the FA Cup draw because we knew we could potentially get Norwich because they won their game against Hashtag. They beat Hashtag 1-0, so fair play to them. Sarah Quantz and Lauren, of course, Hales there as well, former players. Unfortunately, we didn't get them, but we did get a home tie finally in the FA Cup, and we're drawn against Sutton Coldfield Town, who play in the same division as Northampton. I think Northampton beat them actually.
Yeah, 4-2.
4-2. Yeah. So thoughts on that, Blue? A home tie, thankfully. But yeah, another. I hate to say it, a winnable tie, but it's be a good test, a new team to play.
Yeah, exactly that. Main thing is it's a home. I would take anyone at home, and the fact it's a new team is exciting too. On the face of it, should be a winnable game. So we'll look forward to that. But obviously, you never know. We've never played this team before, not that I know of anyway. But yeah, we love the FA Cup, and it looks like if we perform well enough, we'll be able to progress.
Yeah, Laura, I'm sure you're keen for potentially Norwich Ipswich game one day. That hopefully, and we're hoping the FA Cup because definitely when you see teams we knew they were playing Hashtag, we thought that's a tough game for them because we know Hashtag have done well in our division this year, but that was an upset. And we think there's a potential here of the draw, and then no. But then there's still potential. I think they've got potential winnable tie. And then if we win against Sutton Coldfield Town, that tie could be back on. But thoughts on that. And it's just good to be home again because it's been September since we last played at home, which is just madness.
Yeah, I think the magic of the FA Cup is always something that we talk about. And obviously for Ipswich, it's something that you've done well in over the last few years. But yeah, obviously Norwich-Ipswich tie would be something that we're all looking forward to. Maybe either at Carroll Road in front of 14,000 people and hopefully get the 3 points there. But I think it's something that we all kind of were hoping for. But we've got Sutton Coldfield. I think it's good to test ourselves against different leagues, different teams, different parts of the country and see if we're able to play our football again. Obviously, they're in the same league as Northampton, but we're not going to take anything for granted in that sense. Like you've said, Norwich had an upset, so we've got to make sure that we're switched on and we still play our football.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to get this right, Blue, because I got this got played in the hotel in Cardiff many times. Oh God, I really said it wrong there. Oh my God, I can't say it.
No, you've done it.
I've done it already. Oh my God, I can't say it. Loughborough Lightning. There we go. Is that said it? Loughborough Lightning. Of course, they play them as well. So Charlie, of course, can give us maybe some footage, but. Yeah, that got chucked at me at Cardiff when I arrived. From the train, got in, chucked my bags. There was apple crumble for me to eat, and then that got played on the big screen.
That's good. That's good.
I wanted to play it. Like it was just the staff, it wasn't the players. Staff. But I had to basically. Joe went, I'm going to play this, and also there's 3 apple crumbles for you to eat. And I was like 3. I had 2. I won't go have 3, but I had 2. But yeah, it got played. I was like, and I butchered it again. So you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome for that. You're welcome, Joe. Hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, that game, of course, is the 26th. So no game this weekend, but the 26th of November at the Asia Arena. Bring it on in the FA Cup second rounds. But yeah, no game this weekend. Tash as well, other business. Tash has won the Player of the Month for the second time in a row. So congratulations to her. But any other plans then this weekend, girls? No game again. It's sort of stop-start again. Laura, what's that been like? Stop-start. I'm sure you've still been training during the week and stuff. But is it okay to have these breaks? But would you prefer have games?
I think obviously at the minute we've had a lot of play a game, have a week off, play a game, have a week off. I think obviously when you're trying to build momentum, it's a little bit annoying. But we still train. We still have the same mentality. I think it gives us now kind of 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So obviously it gives you a bit more time. It's like having an international break every other week. But it's slightly annoying, but it obviously gives us, I think, more time to work on things. So it kind of has its ups and its downs. But yeah, I think it's sometimes good to give yourself that kind of switch off and that able to do things that maybe you're not always able to, go see family, go see friends and have that kind of downtime, which is also nice. Kind of live a bit of a normal life for a weekend before you come in the next week and start playing football again. But obviously we all love football. We'd all love to have a game on a Sunday, but yeah, it gives you a chance to maybe go watch someone else play or kind of scout out some other options. But yeah, slightly annoying, but I can always do something else.
Yeah, Blue, my plans for this Sunday is 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm heading to watch my niece play under 11s football in the cold.
Hopefully not hungover.
Yeah, well, no. Oh, I am going out on the Saturday actually, so potentially I may be hungover for that one as well. But yeah, it's good to see the new generation come through. But yeah, any plans this Sunday? This weekend?
I'm going up to Manchester. So yeah, I'm taking my sister to go and watch the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. So she's a big Manchester United women's fan, as she absolutely loves Ella Toon. So yeah, that was a birthday present. So I'll be driving up there Saturday. We're staying over, and then yeah, we'll watch the game on Sunday and drive back in the evening. So yeah, it should be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so football's still on the agenda for all of us. There
Can't
we
get
go.
enough of it.
We're all addicted.
Yeah, all addicted, and of course playing the game as well, the game we love. So there we go. Well, I've just seen the time, and we've gone over an hour, which has been great though. You know, time flies when you're having fun and all that jazz. It's been great to have you on, Laura. Thanks for joining us and giving you some insight on your time so far and everything like that. So yeah, cup double header done and dusted into the rounds of the quarters and the second round of the Formal Cup and the FA Cup. We'll be back, Blue, after the FA Cup game. But yeah, any other business for you?
No, I don't think so. Just a big thanks for listening this long. It's been a long one, but yeah, a really good pod. Enjoyed it very much. Definitely.
Well, Laura, thanks for joining us. Blue, as always, take it away. Outro.
Yes, remembering John Fowler Solicitors, big thanks to them for sponsoring the pod, as always. And yeah, thanks for listening once again. Thanks for both of you for being on the pod and having an hour of your time. And we'll catch you in a couple of weeks after the next round of the FA Cup.